Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. Today I'm going to be talking about the book The Murder of the Century by Paul Collins. This book takes place in 1987 and it follows obviously a massive murder that took place in Long Island, New York. Basically what happens is a group of boys end up finding a body, just a torso, in the local river, and then obviously they pull it out. And then this investigation kind of begins over this murder and just over the nature of it. The subtitle to this book is The Gilded Age Crime That Scandalized the City and Sparked the Tabloid Wars. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, is right around the time of yellow journalism. So the story follows a lot of Hearst and Pulitzer and their papers and them trying to get the scoop over this murder and trying to, solve the murder possibly before the police can. As you guys may know, I have been trying to read somewhat scary books for the month of October, but I was getting into the mood where I really wanted to read nonfiction books. I talked about this during my last book haul. I've just really been wanting to read nonfiction books, so I was kind of searching for a good true crime novel to read, and so this is the one I ended up picking up. It's not really a scary book by any means. If you're looking for something scary, this isn't the book for you, but if you don't want something scary but just want something about crimes and solving crimes, this would be a good book. I would say it's pretty much half about the actual murder and the case and the trial and things like that, and about half of it is about the actual journalism side of it. So as a journalism major, I found that stuff pretty interesting to read about, but I don't know necessarily if that stuff would be interesting to non-journalism people. But I still think it would be a little bit interesting just to see how the papers or the tabloids at that time covered this murder, because the way they covered it wouldn't be too different from the way murders and crimes are covered today. Some of the things that they're allowed to get away with are a little bit ridiculous, but in general the way that these people act over the crime isn't really that different from how things are today. Things are overly sensationalized. They really want to pick a person to blame for the murder, and then once they've picked that one person, the way they write about the person or the way they describe the person or anything like that is all very much through this lens of their murder, so everything is seen as being negative. This book is very well researched. There's about 3 pages at the end that lists all of the sources that Paul Collins used in this book, and then there's another like 20 pages of just like footnotes sourcing all the things that he mentions in the book. I always find books like this really interesting because it's not like Paul Collins was there to see the things that are happening, so all of his writing is based on research, and yet he's still able to make it feel like he was there, and so he's telling you the story of things that had happened. I did kind of wish that the murder aspect of the story was emphasized a little bit more. This book kind of just felt like I was reading a Law and Order episode. I think it was just the way the story was carried out. You kind of see the crime and then you see almost immediately who the police suspect, and then you see these people get arrested, and then you see them go through the trial, and it just followed down the timeline. So there isn't really much mystery to this book. You kind of know almost immediately how this is going to go down. Not immediately, but like pretty quickly. I think one of the most exciting parts of the book, or most interesting parts of the book, was the trial itself. You're seeing both sides present all this evidence and all these witnesses, and you're not really sure which way it's going to end up going. I gave this book 3 out of 5 on Goodreads. It wasn't like the best book ever, but it wasn't a bad book at all. I definitely think that anyone who is in journalism or was a journalism major would enjoy this. So yeah, that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching.